The strategy mission failed. I was obliterated by the system. Before the wedding, the male protagonist finally remembered my existence. "Come and see me at the villa." "Does Lila know it's wrong?" The butler looked sad. "Miss, she's dead." Not convinced, he rushed into the bedroom. I only saw my cold corpse. Before the raider mission fails. I didn't give up sending one last text message to Ethan. "Ask him if you have to marry Chu Xiaoying." They quickly got back to the news. "You have to dare to mess around again. We can't even do it as brothers and sisters." You don't have to guess to know that Ethan is frowning as he types. There is impatience between the eyebrows. My heart is like ashes. Resigned to his fate, he put his phone aside, waiting for death. I watched as the countdown above my head started at 10. It goes all the way to 0. The mechanical sound of the system rings in my head. The male protagonist of the strategy failed. The host is about to be obliterated. When the words fell, I felt it clearly. Your own soul. It is being used little by little. Peeled out of this body. It tastes so bad. Then when he was whipped and tortured, it will be tormented 100 times and 1,000 times. I gritted my teeth hard. There was still a muffled grunt of pain leaking from my lips and teeth. The experience of this life. It appeared in front of my eyes. I am the vicious female partner in the president's article. It's the script of the male protagonist. In order to better cultivate a relationship with him, I chose to dress as his childhood sweetheart. For the first 18 years, we were inseparable. It's very close. Ethan would buy me an aunt's towel when I came to relatives. Soak in brown sugar water. We'll fly for a day and a night. Ran all the way back from abroad. Just to say that I want to see you. Almost everyone thinks we're going to be a sure couple, including myself. Until the appearance of the heroine Ava. I just got to know it deeply. What is called a green plum is no match for the sky. At my 20th birthday party, I confessed to him. Not surprisingly, rejected me. Encapsulates our feelings for more than 10 years in one sentence. Xiaolan, I only treat you as a sister. Since then, my vicious female partner's personality awakens. Began to stalk him. Also from the perspective of a bystander. Witnessed him and Ava's 5 years of clutching. So far, it has finally come to fruition. If you don't attack Ethan, you'll die. At the same time, I really like him. At that time, I did not believe in evil. I don't believe that 18 years of relationship can't withstand a glimpse. It turned out that I couldn't have been more wrong. And it's ridiculously wrong. But Ethan, I really heard it. After the huge tearing sensation dissipated, my body began to become lighter. No longer confined to a physical body. Oddly enough, I didn't disappear immediately. Instead, he was pulled by a strange force. Came to Ethan's company. He was dressed in a black suit. There is an elite temperament all over the body. It's ridiculous to say. The suit he was wearing. I made it for him with my own hands. I studied fashion design in college. At that time, I was full of Ethan. Naively say that every year after the birthday, I'm going to send you a tailored suit. Let you be the face of my brand. He also promised to invest in me at that time. Take my brand international. I kept my promise. But he broke his promise. President, Miss Chu called. Ask you to go for a wedding photo shoot. Ethan's special assistant, Jiang Chung, came in to inform him. I know. Ethan snapped a photo upside down on his desk. Got up in silence. When he left, I was forced to leave. Look at him and Chu Xiaoying smiling. I finished taking a whole set of wedding photos. On the return trip, for the first time, Ethan didn't send Ava home. The atmosphere in the carriage was inexplicably heavy. It's oppressive and breathless. Ethan frowned. Thoughtfully, it seemed that something was bothering him. After a long time, he abruptly opened Lila's mouth. What he's doing today. Normally, I was like a clingy elf. Countless phone calls are made to him every day. Send countless text messages. Even if he ignores me, I'll also try my best to get it from Jiang Chung. Learn of his whereabouts. However, this time, Jiangcheng also just said calmly today. Miss Song didn't look for me for a day. Hearing this, Ethan's brows furrowed fiercely. Flip out your phone. My chat history with him. Still stuck on yesterday's page. Do you have to marry Chu Xiaoying? Ethan, you need to dare to mess around again. We can't even do it as brothers and sisters. He frowned, graciously sent me a message. Where is it? Change it to the usual. I must have been happy to talk to him. For a second, I didn't want him to wait longer. But this time, I waited 10 minutes and didn't get any reply. Ethan finally realized the anomaly. Tell Jiangcheng to go to Four Seasons Xian. Four Seasons Pavilion, this villa. It was Ethan's gift to me as a coming-of-age gift. I've been living here and won't move. Even the housekeeper was arranged for me by him. Ethan's then. The villa is scary quiet. There is only one butler, busy aimlessly in the living room. Ethan nonchalantly straightened the cufflinks. Tell the butler to let Lila come down to me. Hear my name. The butler's dull expression cracked, revealing a sad sadness that is difficult to understand. He glanced at Ethan wretchedly. Slowly spit out a sentence miss. He's dead. Ethan was stunned for a moment. And the back is indifferent. Sneered. This is a new method he has used. I'm willful and stubborn. But he doesn't joke with life and death. But his trust in me was so weak. He didn't even want to ask for verification. Ethan was sure I was throwing a tantrum. Before leaving, he asked the housekeeper to tell me. I asked him not to come to my wedding. Xiaoying doesn't like me. It's also an eyesore to look at. The butler's eyes moved slightly, glancing at Ethan. S eyes were stained with sympathy and a hint of hatred. 6 hours Ethan stayed in my villa. Less than 10 minutes in total. Hurried away. He got into the car irritably. Jiangcheng saw that there was no one behind him. I was stunned. President, didn't Miss Song come down to see you? After all, I didn't want him to wait for a second. Aside from the strategy, it turns out that I am still a shameless pestering him. Licking dogs. Lila, you didn't die unjustly. Ethan's eyebrows are in agreement. And then the mood is even more depressed. Warn, don't mention it in front of me again. Jiangcheng wanted to speak and stopped. He glanced at Ethan, who was full of impatience. After all, it is the words of persuasion. Swallow it all. I sat right next to Ethan in the back seat. He seemed to be in a distraught mood. Let Ethan drive around the city several times. The thin lips are slightly pursed into a straight line. Clutching his phone tightly in his hand. Look down from time to time. But the phone screen is always black and never lights up. I don't know what he's expecting. Still hoping I could give him a call. Or a text message. Oh, I remembered. Ethan once said. I was his reassurance. He is at ease when I am there. He once ate deflated at Chu Xiaoshuan's place. Got drunk and ran to me in the middle of the night to go crazy. Hold me tightly. The smell of wine accompanied his warm breath. Spray on my neck. He rubbed lightly. Full of intimacy. Lon, without you. What should I do? His tone was scruffy. It seems like I'm the love of his long-awaited life. This is the closest I've come to the success of the male protagonist of the Raiders. As long as I have a relationship with him. According to Ethan's old-fashioned personality, it is impossible not to be responsible for me. But I don't want to use such dirty methods. Lock him in with me. I want to stand in front of me with dignity. So I was always decadent in him. Frustration arises. I've seen him embarrassed countless times, but could not share the glory with him when he was full of ambition. He and Ava were entangled for 5 years. The two fell in love and killed each other. Every time I succeeded, I ran to him childishly. Proudly, his chin was raised. Provocatively said Ava, "You are my defeated man." Ava was furious. Red eyes. Ethan scrambled to make amends to him. It's to make her happy. And I'm standing not far away. Looked at the dazzling scene in front of him in distraction. Exactly 5 years. I can't count how many times I've experienced this scene. I thought about giving up. But every time I have the idea of giving up, the system will be in my head. A piercing obliteration warning is issued. The morning light is faint. In the distance, the dark blue sky gradually turned white. The rising sun struggled up from there. Ethan waited for me all night. After all, I didn't wait. My relief closed my eyes, said coldly, and went to the company. It is the president. After arriving at the company, Ethan walked around the president's office irritably. Eyes turned. Suddenly it landed on the upside-down photo on the desk. Yesterday time was in a hurry. I couldn't see who the person was in the picture. Is it Ava? In the past few days, the two have been in and out together. Do you miss it to the point where you need to see things and think about people? These 5 years. He and Ava fall in love and kill each other. But the person who is inseparable from him is still me. Before my 20th birthday, Ava ran up to me. Lila in the affirmative. The last person to get Ethan will be me. I was stunned, and did not take to heart his words similar to a declaration of war. How so? Ethan and I have a strong relationship. He did my birthday party. Full flood. So we made a bet. I confessed to Ethan at my birthday party that I liked you. The audience was a sensation. They were all clapping and coaxing. Together. I was looking forward to it. Waited for his reply. Ethan looked hesitantly into the crowd. In the end, she replied to Xiaolan a little helplessly. I only think of you as my sister. If you do something that makes you misunderstood, I apologize to you. In a flash, the eyes of the crowd were shattered into tens of thousands of pieces. The blade slammed into my heart. Killing is invisible. I laughed. I don't know how to save this ridiculous situation. I thought it was a natural match. I didn't expect it to be wishful thinking to embarrass myself. But Ava is still going to take the stage. Walk over to Ethan. Stand side by side with him. Clasp your hands to your chest. He gave me a contemptuous look. Speaking of Lila, I said it. Ethan doesn't like you. You're going to ask for your own suffering. Ethan turned his head and argued with him. Accuse him of his obstinate behavior. I forgot that I was still in an awkward situation. President, Miss Chu is here. Jiang Cheng's calm voice. It sounded in the empty and silent president's office. Woke up the two of them who were immersed in memories at the same time. Let him wait outside first. Ethan's face was expressionless. Turn around and walk into the break room. A large fitting room was created in the lounge. It is hung with clothes of various styles. It's all carefully matched by me, just to keep him in case of emergency. Now, he picks among a dazzling array of clothes. But it's to date other women. It's ridiculous. I've done so much. Failed to pick the lock in his heart. Instead, he made a wedding dress directly for someone else. It's really ridiculous. A handful of bitterness. Ava, who was supposed to be waiting outside. Unauthorized entry into the office. Also picked up the photos on the table. Ethan came out to see it. At boiling point. Who's going to let you mess with my stuff? This sudden outburst of anger was overwhelming. Ava was stunned for a second before reacting. Xingshi asks for Sin. Okay, Ethan. You're going to marry me soon. You also have a picture of another woman in your possession. What the hell do you mean by that? Another photo of a woman. It's not Ava's. When I heard this, I was overjoyed. Holding his stomach and giggling. It turns out that Ethan is playing so much. But that's fine. Let Ava taste my pain too. The two quarreled fiercely. In the end, it broke up unhappily. The huge office was full of messes. And Ethan's loneliness. He bent down to pick up the picture on the ground. I leaned over curiously. I want to know who the woman Ethan is hiding in her heart. Even Ava lost. But he deliberately covered the photo with his hand. Protect the dead. I can't see it at all. I was discouraged and thought about it. Relieved again. Where can the dead rule the affairs of the living? Not to mention that I'm going to disappear soon. Jingle bell landline rings. Broke the temporary silence in the president's office. Ethan followed the prestige. His eyes fell on the teacher's desk. The corners of his lips are slightly hooked. I deliberately waited a little longer. When the phone is about to hang up, I picked up the earpiece and fed it unhurriedly. The butler's calm, numb voice came from over there, sir. How to arrange the funeral of the young lady. Ethan didn't hear what he expected. Thick eyebrows furrowed. Impatiently, Lila pretended to be dead and was still addicted. You tell him. I can't be fooled by such shoddy means. I'm not going to cancel the wedding because of that. There was silence on the other side for a long time. Long. By the time Ethan thought the phone had been hung up, the butler's voice rang out slowly. There was a heavy sadness in his tone. Sir, Miss has been dead for a day. Then drag him out and burn him. Butler, do you want to come back to see him one last time? No need, Chin said coldly. In the future, you don't have to ask me for advice on such trivial matters. The words fell, and he pinched the phone directly. I was listening clearly. Couldn't help but pull the corners of his mouth sadly. Bagatelle. It turned out that my life and death were so insignificant in his heart. It's not worth mentioning. I didn't expect that either. His own aftermath will be so sloppy. Directly dragged out and burned. It's angry and funny. Worthy of someone I have liked. Decisive enough. Evening. Ava, who had been missing for a day, is back. She did her hair. The makeup is exquisite. Wear a nice dress. Ask Ethan to go to her fine dining restaurant downstairs. Have a candlelit dinner. Under the bright crystal lights. Diamond earrings worn on Ava's earlobes. Shines brightly. He brushed his hair sideways, revealing a slender swan neck. Smile proudly, Ethan. I forgive you for today's incident. Before we get married, though, you've got to clean up all the stuff about that woman. He is confident and flamboyant. The tone is non-negotiable. Rather, it's notifications. Or even commands. Rainfall elegantly slices the steak. Don't look at Ethan anymore. He's always been so adamantly casual. It's like the 5 years he and Ethan have been together. The two did not establish a substantive relationship. Looking at his anxious look, my memories were suddenly brought back to 3 months ago. Ethan's birthday. I gave Ethan my hand-cut suit. After he put it on, show off to all your friends that my lawn is awesome. Our mutual friend also joked about Lan's skillful hands. Only Ethan, you have this blessing. Put on the clothes he made with his own hands. Everyone was praising me. Only Chu Xiaoying sat in the shadows. Calm a face. Drink it all. The red wine in the glass opened Ethan. Let's get married. The lively atmosphere suddenly condensed. The eyes of the crowd, a back and forth between the three of us. Ava glanced at me contemptuously. Then he continued as a victor. I'm tired and want a home. Will you give it to me? All of a sudden, my blood clotted. Stiffly turned his head to look at Ethan. I saw him in his dark eyes, overflowing with a bit of joy that is hard to hide. Maybe I've already guessed his answer, but I still had a fluke in my heart. Hopefully he will refuse. It's a pity. The god of fate has never been on my side. The two are ready to get married. Now I'm witnessing something similar. But there are no waves in my heart. To the woman in Ava's mouth. I'm not interested anymore. Ethan agreed. The two reconciled. They had a good dinner. Then they went back to their wedding room. The door just opened. Ava couldn't wait to climb up to Ethan. A confused kiss at Ethan's neck. Gently biting his Adam's apple. Low opening Ethan. You say who is a little better at my skills or Lila. He was already immersed in lust. Reached out and tugged at Chu Xiaoshuan's skirt. I heard my name coldly. Lost interest. Pushing Ava away with a blank face. Walked out to the balcony alone. A cigarette was lit. The cigarette was caught between his fingertips. A little scarlet flickered in the cold wind. Ethan leaned against the railing. Look out at the tall buildings in the distance. Neon lights. I don't know what I'm thinking. Ava has always been arrogant. She hooked her fingers. There was a large group of men who went to the soup for her. Now she put down her body and tried to please Ethan. But he was given a cold reception. The whole person is in a bad mood. She came out of the shower, wearing Ethan's white shirt. A pair of white, long thighs are exposed. She asked unhappily if you heard Lila's name. The reaction was so big. It can't be that you're still thinking about him. Ethan extinguishes the cigarette. Throw it in the trash. How many times have I said the irritable explanation? She's my sister. Younger sister? Ava scoffed at what was just her sister's words. You'll allow her to move an inch. Do they follow you inseparably? So what to do? Lila's parents died. He's in this world. I'm the only one to rely on. Ava's anger did not increase, but decreased. I hate you most in the name of your sister. But he did something unclear. Lila, I know I'm going to marry you. He's going to haunt you to the death. It's better to be dead, so as not to be embarrassed. Listen to their quarrels. I couldn't help but laugh. Ava is really a god. I'm really dead. It won't get anyone's eyes in the way. Instead, Ethan. It seems that I can't listen to such words. Shut up angrily. Ava was even more grieved. Roar, you're still protecting him. Ethan, you don't love me at all. As the words fell, he slammed the door and left. There was only one room of silence in the room. Ethan sat alone in the living room and smoked a cigarette for half the night. There were countless cigarette butts on the ground. Look at him like this. I'm afraid he'll be killed. After a pack of cigarettes bottoms out, Ethan stepped on his slippers to find a cigarette. Smoke not found. Instead, I touched his phone on the coffee table. The screen lights up. The notification bar is there. It's all kinds of missed calls and unread messages. Pull from the beginning to the end. Except for my message. Ethan frowned. Open my chat box. Lila, if you make another fuss, I'm going to marry Ava the day after tomorrow. I saw the message he sent me. I felt ridiculous. What does he mean by that? It was I who showed up. He's going to cancel the wedding. But I asked him before I died, do you have to marry Ava? Ethan, the decision of my life and death is in your hands. But you won't even give me a chance to live. Even if you are a widow for life. Even if I haven't attacked you in my life. I can live too. But you're married. The system directly judged that my task failed. Losers. They are not qualified to live in this world. Without exception. The news sent out this time is still in the sea. No response. Bang. Ethan raised his hand and jerked it. The phone smashed against the wall. Split in an instant. I gave him this phone. I've hit a little bit of a trick. I want to use a couple model with him. It's okay to break it. It's okay to break it. I'm dead. The connection between that and Ethan. It's good to cut them off as much as possible. The next day, Ethan didn't show up for work as usual. Jiang Chung came here to find him. President, the tulips you ordered for Miss Song have arrived. Do you want to send it over? Give. She cherishes words like gold. Didn't Song Lan want to play with me and pretend to be dead? This time I gave him tulips. I don't believe I'll be able to hide. Ethan's tone was firm. I was amused to hear it. How much I licked before. To make Ethan feel like giving me a cart of flowers. You can let me get out of here. Besides, he forgot that I was allergic to tulips. Ethan, you really don't care about me at all. It's all about forgetting. He's confident. Drive the car yourself. Brought a cart of tulips back to Four Seasons Pavilion. And then have people transplanted into the backyard. The butler heard the movement outside and walked out. Ethan's face was full of spring breeze. Wave at him. What about Lila? Call him out. The housekeeper's eyelids move slightly. Numb repetition. Mr. Miss. He's dead. Ethan's face suddenly turned cold. The corners of his mouth drooped in disgust. I'll tolerate the joke once or twice. The third time it won't be interesting. When Ethan decided to marry Ava, I had a long argument with him, the last period of my life. Our relationship was on the verge of breaking down. I was in a state of extreme fear and panic every day. The first thing I did when I woke up was to ask Ethan repeatedly, "Are you really going to marry Ava?" He replied yes, just a few days. He treated me like a little girl and was throwing a tantrum. More times. And he got impatient. Give me a warning, Lila. If you make a fuss again, go, you get out. I was chilling. The body is soaked in cold sweat. The system kept warning me of death in my head. There are 20 days left before the time of the male protagonist of the raider. If the task fails, the host will be obliterated. Please complete the task as soon as possible. I haven't seen enough of this world. I humbly beg him. If you get married, I'll die. Ethan, it's not possible even for our lifetimes. But can you not get married? This kind of request seems ridiculous enough to me. How could Ethan say yes? He just blocked me. Until Ava called me to be his bridesmaid. He just released me from the blacklist. The butler still had that wooden expression. He tugged at the corners of his lips sarcastically. Finally lied. Yes, the young lady is not dead. He traveled far away. Ethan heard a satisfactory answer. A smile finally appeared on his face. Bow down, call him back as soon as possible. I allowed him to go to my wedding. Ha ha. I almost laughed when I heard this. Ethan, when his wedding was what? He gave me permission to attend. I'm going to be grateful. Is he grateful to Dade? Don't be too funny. The butler nodded sluggishly. Promise I would. I'll definitely bring my lady with me. Come on, make sure Ethan walks away happily. Yesterday Ethan let out angry words. Let the housekeeper drag my body out and burn it. So I want to see if the housekeeper burns it or not. However, it didn't wait for me to drift into the villa. A mysterious force dragged me compulsively. Follow Ethan out of here. Why? Why am I all dead? And tie me to Ethan. Am I born for him? I feel sorry for myself. I have never had a life of my own in this life. Treat teenagers as the only ones. But he was lost in the flies of time. The third day after my death was Ethan's wedding. He didn't go to the villa to see me again. He was dressed in a white suit, standing with Ava in a gorgeous wedding dress. It's really a match made in heaven. But he was frequently distracted at his wedding. Keep looking in the direction of the door. When exchanging wedding rings with Chu Xiaoying, the ring was empty and fell to the ground. Provoked his displeasure. Growl Ethan. Unexpectedly, Ethan announced the suspension of the wedding. The audience was in an uproar. The contradictions that had accumulated over the past few days finally erupted. Chu Xiaoying ripped off her veil. Angry asks what you mean. Ethan whispered that he hadn't come yet. Who? Who hasn't come yet? I didn't even react. Ava guessed it directly. Lila, you're waiting for him. Ethan stared at him with burning eyes. Gentle persuasion of Xiaoying. Wait. Our wedding wouldn't be complete without Lila. There was stubborn paranoia in his expression. At a glance. I just think Ethan is a madman. Ava finally broke the defense. I'm the one who cries and fusses and wants to marry you. It's still Lila. Ethan, do you love me or not? Ethan ignored his rambling. Keep waiting for me. That's when it happened. Jiang Chung strode in and said to the president, Miss Song is here. Ethan smiled with relief. And then he became angry. Hidden for so long, he was finally willing to show up. Jiang Cheng's complexion was extremely weird. But Ethan didn't notice it. He threw away the mad bride. Strode out of the hotel. Lila, you Ethan have a grim face. I wanted to ask the teacher for sin. But when I saw the scene in front of me, the voice paused. I was also stunned. The butler opened his mouth in a cold voice. I've brought Miss to your wedding. The wedding is over. We also have to rush to the crematorium. My body was in an ice coffin. I was sent in a car. Butler, he actually came out with my corpse. Ethan's wedding. This wave of operations is sassy enough. Unforgettable. Haha. I looked up to the sky and laughed uncontrollably. If I were alive, I'm going to give the housekeeper a thumbs up. Ethan's anger froze on his face. The expression is distorted and hideous. He slowed down for a while. I finished digesting the information given by the housekeeper, glancing at the hearse parked on the side of the road, sneered, and made a full set of plays. Miss Lingdao, the housekeeper, is here. Sir, won't you come over and take a look at it yourself? There was a mockery in his tone. Ethan froze for a few seconds, began to walk towards the hearse. But his steps were noticeably heavier. It was as if every step had used up all his strength. Slow movements. Almost moved to the hearse. In the ice coffin, I was sleeping quietly. The countenance is not serene. After all, I was pulled alive before I died. The soul was tortured. Ethan only glanced at it. It's like he's been hit. Weak knees. He fell to his knees. Seeing this, President Jiang Chung went to help him. Ethan dodged his hand, pointing to the ice coffin. Jiang Cheng's tone trembled lightly. Jiang Chung, take another look. Is it him or not? The president is Miss Song. Jiang Chung replied in the affirmative. The housekeeper added, Sir. The young lady has been dead for 3 days. He jerked his face up. Suddenly, I felt a cold liquid on my face. Reaching out and wiping a handful of tears. He asked, Why are you telling me now? The butler said with a blank face, I have been telling you all along. It's you yourself who thinks Miss is joking. I didn't even want to go upstairs to verify it. Ethan finally reacted. He had always thought it was my way of forcing him to cancel the wedding. I didn't think it was true, because once upon a time I ran away from home. Tricks such as losing contact for no reason. Ava said Lila was sick. You obviously said that you only treat him as a sister. He's still stalking. He loves to use it. A childish way to threaten you. Ethan, don't let him fool you. Then he really listened to Chu Xiaoying's words. I don't want to believe it anymore, me. Sir, I'm going to take Miss to the crematorium now. After the butler dropped the sentence, I got into the driver's seat, drove away in the hearse. Ethan was stunned for a second. Then he grabbed Jiang Cheng's arm and got up. Tell me to drive after me. Followed by, they drive a luxury car worth millions. Chase hearses on the highway. I stared blankly at the scene in front of me. Just one word for Ethan. You don't want to be too ridiculous. Thankfully, I'm dead. Otherwise, as the heroine who is chased, I'm going to shoot to death. I floated to the crematorium. Watch me go from being burned by the flames alone, turned into a pile of bizarre, ugly ashes, packed into a dark and narrow box. That moment, something mysterious that had bound me was gone. I felt my soul lighten. Probably I'm leaving. When the staff came out with my urn in their hands, Ethan subconsciously stretched out his hand, but was taken away by the housekeeper first. He said, Sir, Mademoiselle won't want to go with you. Chin looked at the housekeeper coldly. 5 fingers clenched and opened. And so on several times. After all, I didn't suppress my heart. A surge of collapse and despair. Lila, it's just me in this world. He had to follow me. He went crazy and snatched the urn. The two argued. The urn flew out. Jiang Cheng's eyelids jumped wildly. Dead, staring at the urn. Jumped. Rolling around on the ground with the urn in his arms. He and I breathed a sigh of relief at the same time. It was finally a safe landing. My ashes didn't spill out. I don't want to be crushed and burned when I die. See that I am intact. Ethan ordered Jiang Chung to give Lan Lan to me. I'm going to take her home. Back to our true home. This sounds extremely ironic to me. Ethan, that's your home. Not mine. Jiang Chung looked at me hesitantly. He looked at the butler again. Can't be the master. Finally, it was Miss Housekeeper Da who said, if he died, and scattered his ashes into the sea. He didn't want to stay in the world that was making him miserable. Fortunately, there is one more person in this world who remembers my words. For 3 months, Ethan was busy preparing for his wedding to Chu Xiaoying. He didn't bother to ask about me. The system counts down tasks every day. It almost drove me crazy. To the end. I can't tell the difference between my obsessive strategy, Ethan. Exactly because I want to live. Or do I really love him? There are many things that I can't help myself. At the moment when Ava appeared, everything goes to extremes. A lot of times I can't control myself. When drunk, I confided in the butler. I'm not from this world. In my previous life, I died so miserably. Caught by traitors. Whipped the whole body with a whip soaked in salt water to open the flesh. They used countless forms of torture against me. The shadow of death has left me too great. When my soul wanders between heaven and earth, I was bound by something called a system. He said he could give me a chance to live, as long as the task is completed. This life, I can live peacefully until I am old. What tempting conditions. So I didn't even think about it. Who's the one I'm going to raid? It's the one I refused to give out in my last life. Ethan, I'm just an ordinary fisherwoman. Drifted for half a lifetime. Finally married you. You will seek the cause of your imperial power. I'm pregnant. Caught and beaten by your enemies. His whereabouts have not been revealed to him until death. But you have failed me in your past and present lives. I'm so unwilling. When did he say it? Ethan's face turned pale. Anxious, questioning. The butler looked him in the eye. Every word is like punishing the heart. It was the night you and Miss Chu went out for the night. Miss told me herself. Your wedding is his death. The next second, the fierce butler suddenly turned into a slender and graceful beauty. She was holding an oil paper umbrella. Glanced at the urn that Jiang Chung was holding in his hand. The beauty points to my place. His voice was demagogic. He said Lila was standing there. You tell me in front of him. Do you love him or not? Ethan froze for a moment, and then kept nodding. I'm afraid I'll lose sight if I'm a second late. He said, oh. I love Lila. I love him. His voice is getting quieter, mixed with suffocating despair and pain. This is the confession I have been searching for all my life. But when I heard it with my own ears, I don't care anymore. I even felt a little disgusting. It's really disgusting. The beauty sighed slightly. It's a pity you woke up too late. He walked over to Ethan. The palm of his hand flashed blue and swept across Ethan's forehead. He was suddenly clear-minded. The information he received. Synchronicity comes to my mind. In his previous life, Ethan had taken a great cause. Enthroned as emperor. Married the daughter of a powerful minister. Consolidation. And I, as his wife of chaff. He had long been forgotten by him. There is no thought in the history books. It's me, it's me. The resentment of the sky attracted the beauty in front of him. She offered to put me to the test of my life. Then bear me eternal life. Travel through worlds large and small. Become a tasker. I don't want to. I just want to be reunited with my husband. He sighed. What if your husband is ungrateful? I don't believe it. And then, I paid the price of all catastrophes in exchange for this life. Now I'm here. And in fairy tales, a mermaid who turns a fishtail into legs for love. What's the difference? Every step of the way. It's like walking on the tip of a knife. The pain is unbearable. I regret it when I do. I'm here and now. I just want to go back to the sea that belongs to me. The memories of the two lives poured into Ethan's mind like crazy. Too much information. He had a hard time accepting it. Pounding his head in pain. Change my name. Lon Lon, I was wrong. I was wrong. I really didn't know it would be like this. In his previous life, it was Ava who said it. You don't think I have a future. I ran away with the others. I thought it would be best for you to set you free. I really didn't think it would be like this. It's all you think. You think. Then why do you never want to ask for it? I confronted him angrily. Anger was surging. It actually made my soul condense directly. The moment I appeared, I was seen. Ethan was overjoyed. Rushed over to hug me. But it passed through my body. He looked at his empty hands. The whole person was stunned. The beauty glanced at him. There is no element of sympathy in the eyes. Turned to me and said, Lila, your strategy, Ethan, failed. According to our bet, you will be destroyed. There is no afterlife. You are not convinced. I'm convinced. I lowered my eyes. All the results are what I should bear. Ethan listened. Roaring Lila one after another. I love you. I really love you. I'm me. I'm just blinded. It's just blinded. I thought you would never leave me. No matter how loud he roared, it didn't help. My soul is slowly becoming transparent. Finally disappeared completely. Beauty took my urn. It's gone, too. Ethan collapsed and sat on the ground. Eyes are blank. Hollowness and numbness. It's just that his mouth keeps muttering Lila. I truly love you. I love you. Jiang Chung couldn't stand it anymore. Go and drag him president. Stop yelling. Miss Song couldn't hear it. The scene just now really shocked him. It's beyond his knowledge. He also felt that Ethan had ended up where he was now. It's really alive, and I should even have a little joy in my heart. It's just that Ethan is his boss, afraid of being fired. I dare to be angry and dare not speak. Beauty took me to a virtual space. In front of him is a huge transparent screen. The scene in the crematorium appeared above. Ethan is crazy. He refused to accept the fact that I was dead. Ran in and forced the staff to burn him too. Lon is going to the sea. Then I'll go with him. The staff all looked at each other with a look of horror, stared at him, and called the police. Ethan was identified as mentally abnormal, pulled to a psychiatric hospital. He was a maverick in a psychiatric hospital. Stab yourself with a knife every day. One by one, he stabbed into his body. No mercy. Obviously, blood flowed all over the ground. But in the end, they couldn't die. Wake up every day. The wound is fully healed. He laughed stupidly. Lon, how much do you hate me? He wouldn't even let me die. I saw him so crazy. Shocked. Ask Serena if he's going to turn into a nervous disorder. No, Serena said. He is the only son of luck in this world. Heavenly Tao will not let him die. He will only live in this world soberly. Suffer the pain of backlash. Ava heard about him. Saved him from the psychiatric hospital. Then take it home. Seeing such a passive and slacking off Ethan, he was furious. Isn't that a rebuke, Lila? Dead is dead. Ethan, are you going to do it for a dead man? Abandon your company. Do you know that you don't go to work for a day? How many people will face unemployment? These words are truly righteous and awe-inspiring. It's like hearing the news of my life and death in my previous life. When Ethan was going to live and die, he made up the lie that I ran away with the other men. Ethan, after 3 days of decadence, finally cheer up. Take the Imperial City in one fell swoop. Complete the hegemony. Now the old scene is back in the picture, Chin. There was a strong hatred in Han's eyes. Raise your knife. Took advantage of Chu Xiaoying's defenselessness. A knife stabbed hard. Ava also wanted to educate him ideologically. Caught off guard, he was killed. I'm afraid he won't be able to figure it out until he dies. How did you die? It's ridiculous. Bizarre moment. I withdrew my gaze. I don't want to see this sad scene again. Zhang Xinyue understands what I mean. Raise your hand to turn off the screen. He said that it is not about love and hate. Why don't you do something meaningful? Lila, in this world, there are many women like you who are stuck in the mire. Go and save them. Save them? I can't even save myself. Serena smiled at the side of her lips. How do you know if you don't try? Okay, then give it a try. I couldn't get out of it myself. Then you have to work hard to become the salvation of others. Ethan killed. However, he could not be sentenced because he was mentally ill. He was imprisoned in a psychiatric hospital. He was holding the only photo of me. Countless times muttered Lila. Lila, he said he loved me. It's just that I'm blinded. It's a pity that everything is just an excuse. If your love for me is strong enough, how can you not wake up until you die? Ethan, we will never see each other for the rest of our lives. End of full text.